And guess what? If you do come out, tomorrow you'll see we have a very special guest joining us, your friend, Tim.
My friend.
Your friend, Tim Tebow.
My friend, Tim Tebow, is going to be here tomorrow.
Oh.
My friend.
His friend.
Well, then I guess there's no reason for me to show up tomorrow.
Actually, no. There is.
I guess not.
I'll just take the day off.
You'll take the day off?
Who needs to pick the Cowboys?
Who needs to pick the Cowboys? You already picked the game.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, so definitely tune in tomorrow. Tim Tebow will be here. Will you guys come back? Will you join me?
Yeah.
Will you guys do that? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Look at this guy over here in the corner. What are you looking at? You, yeah, you. Yeah, Michigan hat. You, yeah. Oh, okay. All right, so let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, shall we? The Cavaliers finalized their trade the other day for one Timofey Mozgov. So take a look at what they've been doing with their roster as of late. They've been pursuing him for months, and so finally they now have the defender that they've been looking for. In return, they will send 2 protected first-round picks to the Nuggets, a deal that works with that three-team trade. I don't know if you guys heard about that earlier. Deion Waiters went to OKC. J.R. Smith, as well as Iman Shumpert, are now members of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Meanwhile, LeBron James has set out 6 straight games, but he says he's feeling a lot better. Let's listen.
And, if everything continues to go well, I'm on target. I'm on pace. I'm feeling better every day. So, it's been a good first week.
If this was a playoff game, could you play tonight?
Yeah, I can play. Of course. I'd have played a week ago for the playoff game.
All right, so J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, now Mozgov, LeBron feeling better, getting ready to go to the West Coast and play with the team. Stephen A., what is the state of the Cleveland Cavaliers in your opinion?
It's not very good, to be quite honest with you. First things first, LeBron James needs to leave the beard to James Harden.
Okay,
get rid of the beard.
That.
That's
okay.
That's just he just does.
Okay.
He just does. Fear the beard. That's James Harden's thing, not his. That's number one. But on a more serious note, it's not a good situation. They've lost 3 straight. They've lost 6 of their last 7. They are struggling defensively, as everyone well knows. But more importantly than that, listen, LeBron James is en route to missing his 7th consecutive game. It's the longest drought of his career. He's never missed that many games in a row. He hasn't been around a team. They're trying to talk about his doctor instructions. It would actually hurt him to sit down. He doesn't need to be there. It's certainly understandable why he's not traveling on the road with the team. But I think that more than ever before, it really highlights to me, and I'm just speculating here because I haven't spoken to his camp about any of this stuff. This is just my personal feeling, knowing folks the way that I do. I look at LeBron James, and to me, he hasn't looked happy all year. He just doesn't. He doesn't look excited about being there. I think he's excited about his friends. I think he's excited about his family. I think he's excited about being home again. But I'm talking about being a member of this particular makeup of the Cavs organization. I think it's a problem. I think that David Blatt, I'm not trying to be critical of him. I know that this man was an exceptional coach in Europe, but he's a rookie here in the NBA. He's never coached on this level before in this league. And the problem with that is that he was signed before LeBron announced that he was coming back to Cleveland. So he was supposed to be a part of a rebuilding project in Cleveland as opposed to having immediate expectations heaped upon his shoulders. Not to mention the fact that in a former head coach, Larry Drew, in an aspiring head coach with a strong pedigree in Tyronn Lue, who coached under Doc Rivers all of these years. Those guys are ethical. They're good people. I know them personally. They're great guys, and they're upstanding individuals, but they're also individuals who aspire to be a head coach one day. So they're not necessarily dudes that were handpicked by David Blatt in my estimation. So if you're David Blatt, you have a star in LeBron James who, no matter what he says, didn't necessarily want David Blatt as his head coach. You've got a guy in Kyrie Irving paid $90 million before LeBron James re-arrived, that had every thought that the team was going to be his. You got a guy in Kevin Love who's looking for his $100 million deal, who LeBron James convinced to come here, who fully expects to get paid and isn't playing like a $100 million player, primarily because of those knees. Not because he's a third option, but because of those knees and his health. Kevin Love wasn't playing above the rim when he was healthy. He damn sure is playing below the rim now. So you've got all of that that going on, plus you've got this situation with the coach, you've got the general manager coming out and giving, a vote of confidence to David Blatt before the All-Star break. Why would you feel the need to do that? You feel the need to do that because you hear the wolves circling. You understand? And so for me, it's just a very, very unpleasant situation, one that doesn't speak to Cleveland winning a championship. And I think the only thing that's going to make this season whole for them is if they win the East, which I do not see them doing because I picked Chicago from day one. This overall is just not an ideal situation. I expect Cleveland to win its share of games, but I expect them to continue to struggle. I expect them to lose in the playoffs, and I expect a new head coach in Cleveland next season.
So could you conclude, after everything you just said, that LeBron James made a mistake going home?
Yeah, that was interesting.
I don't want to say he made a mistake because I personally believe that LeBron James decided, and I've never spoken to him about this in fairness to him, so again, it's just my opinion. Even though some have refuted it, I told him I don't believe them. I believe LeBron James came home because of his family and friends. His boy Randy is a player personnel guy. Our friend of this show, Damon Jones, is the shooting coach for the team. LeBron is in a position where he's been able to take care of some dudes. The wife and family obviously is happy. He's happy being home on that level. But purely as it pertains to basketball, my personal belief is that LeBron bit off more than he could chew. He thought that he wanted this influence, this power, this control. Life was a lot easier, even though it sometimes got on his nerves because Pat Riley, as great as he is, he's also a control. Pat Riley is the man in South Beach, and nobody is Alonzo Mourning, and nobody is Dwayne Wade. But I think that LeBron is seeing for himself now that life was a hell of a lot easier in South Beach when Pat Riley was the man running the show, as opposed to being here in Cleveland. Those guys are decent, respectable, smart guys, but they're relative novices when you're talking about championship pedigree and having to deal with that when you're the only guy that's really a champion. Not to say that Sean Marion, those guys is, but LeBron is that guy. You got upper management. I mean, Dan Gilbert is not Mickey Harrison and Pat Riley. And that's just the way it is.
But he operates as at least the co-GM of this team.
Something like that.
LeBron does?
But they LeBron. But they didn't.
Dan Gilbert.
But he made a mistake because Tristan Thompson, remember, they were supposed to take care of him. Mozgov is a big-time pickup. But Anderson Varejao was
big time.
What I'm saying, big time in terms of defense size, because you don't have it because Anderson Varejao went down. And that's all I'm saying. But
I think
it's not an ideal situation. Well, I'm just saying big time in terms of what they need. That's all I mean by that.
All right. I am with you on this and then some. And even in the last 24 hours, I've talked to several people around the league who do agree with my take on this, that LeBron didn't really sign on for what is now happening in Cleveland. And again, I think he wanted 1 year of honeymoon going home, in which the pressure would be dropped down maybe one level as he taught the kids how to win as he went back home, as he taught a young Love and a young Kyrie and a young Dion Waiters how to win. And all of a sudden, LeBron lost the one guy he does trust on this team in Varejao, the guy he played with before, the guy he can pick and roll with, and they're on the same page. And all of a sudden, instead of sort of waving the white flag this year, upper management here, the two GMs, again, the owner and Griffin, they said, no, we got to reload on the fly here, man. We got to make some desperate deals. So they go out and they get J.R. Smith and they get Shumpert to defend on the perimeter. And they get a quasi-rim protector in Mozgov. At least he's 7 feet tall, so they don't have anybody 7 feet tall.
Well, he's 7 feet and better than what they had.
That's what I'm saying, okay? So all of a sudden, the pressure is getting ratcheted back up on LeBron like, okay, do it. Take us back to the promised land. And I don't think LeBron is into the promised land this year. I don't think he wants to do it with this team and especially with this coach. I mean, hasn't he made it pretty clear from the start? He's just not a fan of the coach.
That's absolutely true.
All right, so So now LeBron's saying, and again, I don't know how hurt his knee is.
Or his back.
I don't know. I don't know if it's really hurt or if he's just kind of wanting to lay low. Is it a Carmelo kind of situation?
Yep.
I mean, is it to the point where you might start suggesting, LeBron, take the rest of the year off?
No, I wouldn't do that. I want Carmelo to take the rest of the year off, and he's probably ticked about that.
I'm sure he is.
He'll need to get over it.
He will.
Because I'm thinking about him. I'm thinking about his 4 years as a native New Yorker, and I'll be damned if I'm going to apologize for that. The next 4 years for the Knicks matter, not this 5-33 season. But as it pertains to LeBron, I want to say this right here on this show. I want to make it very, very clear to everybody, and I'm dead serious when I say this. If the Cleveland Cavaliers think that because LeBron wrote his little letter to SI.com and made everybody feel good and re-energized the city of Cleveland and the area of that area of Ohio and all of this stuff, that LeBron is stuck there, you have another thing coming. You have no idea who you are dealing with. This brother will walk again. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
And he can walk after this year.
I am going to put the Cleveland Cavaliers on notice on national television. In no way am I saying that LeBron James is going to leave Cleveland because he went back. He seems committed to the area, whatever. But this is LeBron James. LeBron James does not like anybody dictating what he does or thinking they can take for granted what he's going to do or how he feels. He will get up and walk again if they don't get their act together.
Similarly, allow me to put LeBron James on notice. He owes this franchise a better second half of the year than he gave him in the first half.
I agree with that.
He just hasn't played very well.
I firmly believe that's that daggone paleo diet thing.
Maybe.
Him, Mello,
I don't know.
all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no carbs. And all. Look, man, if you used to eat beef and potatoes, keep eating it. It's been working for you. Don't stop it. You know? That's what happened. LeBron will be fine. LeBron will be fine. He'll be fine.
Stephen A. is saying he thinks that LeBron just isn't happy or hasn't seemed happy. Don't know it for a fact, but that's just your assumption.
That's my assertion. Yes.
All right. Let's head over to the pick'em board. How are you?
I'm good.
How's it going? I'm building it up. I'm building it up.
Well, I got
Browns is here.
to pick one up.
You got to pick one.
Oh, wow. Come out here, Hoss.
Uh-oh.
Baby.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do